CrossFitters! Sorry about that. It's a couple minutes after 5:30. I was trying to log in on Jen's computer and did not work very well. I figured if people could type any questions into the comments, then I'd be able to respond better, but I'm going to exit out of that. So, it is 5:32. I wanted to go over the third point for the week here today. What's up, Miss Tracy? And I wanted to answer any questions. And I also wanted to talk about scoring. We got an hour and a half or so to enter our points. So, all right. So, point number 3. Now, again, let's recap. We went over sleep. We went over hydration. And now we are going over meditation. All these things, I think, are back to these basics, these simple things that allow you to upgrade the habits. What's up, Jimmy? How are you? I don't know how to do that. It says I can bring you on camera. Maybe we'll do that if you have a question. Let me go over the habit of the week here, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So all of these things are simple ways to upgrade your habits. I've been reading a new book this week, actually, called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's been recommended by Britta or somebody else, I think, and it's really good. But just talking about to be successful, it's just a matter of repeating these daily habits. And so if you're doing habits that are going to bring you mediocre results, if we can find little ways to upgrade the habits that we already do and make them a little bit better and a little bit of a tweak and adjustment that allows us to just continue to do what we are doing and continue to live, but we're living at a higher level. It sounds like silly, but like these little tiny adjustments done over long amount of time is going to bring really, really dramatic results and where you end up. So as far as like with body composition, overall energy, just how you feel and how much you actually enjoy your life, these are the type of things where if I'm eating foods that make me thrive, if I'm eating the right amount of calories and protein so that my body is kind of like recovering well and I feel good about myself, like these little things can be compounded. It's going to be not just for a 6-week challenge, but like a profound impact on the rest of your life. And that's my hope. So we started with sleep. You guys that have been members at a gym for many years know how hard sleep is for me. And it's just one of those things you can't out effort life. Like life has a rhythm. It has an ebb and flow. And if you try to fight that, you will lose. You might be able to beat it short term, and there's, Navy SEALs that go and they get sleep deprived for Hell Week, and there's like all this stuff, but even the best of the best will tell you sleep is like the most critical thing you can do for your recovery, for your hormones, for fat loss, for stress management, for immunity, just everything. So we hammered the sleep. I want you guys to stack these habits. We're only recording the point for each one, but I want you to add these to your life, and I want you to keep them. So 7 hours of sleep, we nailed that. Then we went to the water this week. Half your body weight in ounces. I've heard some people, it was like, holy cow, how do you get it all in? I'm chugging water at the end of the night. I heard from other people like, dude, I do like my whole body weight in ounces like already. Like this was nothing. So depending on how hydrated you are, this could have been a huge eye opener for you, or it could have just been business as usual. Hopefully, if it's something that you don't do currently, you figured out how to piece it into your life, and it's something that you can make sure that you continue on with. Maybe it's just having that glass in the morning, like just making that simple adjustment. I remember when I did that a number of years back, having a couple glasses of water, having the apple cider vinegar before I have my coffee, that was like a game changer to me, because you guys know when you drinking the coffee and it makes you pee, it's like you're coming out of your slumber dehydrated from sleeping. You sweat out and breathe out water weight as you're sleeping. Then it's like to get that coffee in there, and then you're peeing a lot. So anyways, that little adjustment, big time. So that was that. The third one, and today we'll get into, is called meditation, prayer, mindfulness. You can call it whatever you want. For me, I've always had this piece in there, and I've played around with it a lot. So what I wanted to talk about tonight was just different ways you can do it And there's no right way or wrong way. The goal is to get your mind out of the scarcity mindset and out of what do I have to do today and what am I stressed about, and like we know we get bombarded. The goal is to get into like a connection with God is what I call it. Is, I want to get right with my creator of the game here, and I want to get tuned into that without getting too hooby dooby, but like I feel like we all have connection to source, we all have connection to God. And so if we can quiet our mind, and I've done tons of research and years and years and years of studying, it's like if we can get out of that mind and get that ego to shut up, then we can hear clearly from God. We can tune in and tap into that. So it's like, what does that look like? Well, number one, it can be writing stuff down. I'm big on grabbing a piece of paper because my brain just goes. And so there's going to be stuff from my to-do list to random ideas to things that I have an idea for a business or a book or anything. And so it's like getting that shit out allows it to maybe either be able to get organized or to at least take it out of my plate. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really helpful for me. Another one is just straight breathing. If like getting a journal is like, oh man, I don't know, that's intimidating, it's weird, then you can just get straight breathing exercises from like apps on your phone. You can just be in total silence. You can play some kind of music that you like. You could read scripture. You could listen to uplifting music. I've done all those things, like getting in the zone and just taking your mind off of it, what's coming up, and then allowing you to kind of clear out, and will give you like kind of a clean canvas to then plan for the day. Okay, so that's one. Breathing. We talked about writing. Meditations, you can do those as guided. Another thing that I do personally is I like to focus on God stuff first. So I will like read scripture, listen to a meditation that focuses me on that. And then from that frame, I've put on, that Christ consciousness. I put on that sort of power from that spiritual connection. Then it gives me a different perspective to tackle my day. Okay. So meditation, listening, reading. The fourth one would just be to read some kind of a book, a hard actual paper book. You could get some kind of just educational, uplifting, anything really, just like some kind of a book that's going to set your mindset and kind of get you thinking on your intentions for the day. Okay, so I'm giving you lots of options. Don't be confused or over complicate it. It's just basically time for you to set your focus for the day. So let's roll into what do I mean by setting your focus for the day. I'm a big believer in that you're going to attract into your life, you're going to get what you focus on. So we're essentially creating our experience by setting that focus first thing in the morning. So I'm able to set my intentions and make sure that I'm going to do things throughout the day, and then I'm focused on things, that I want, and then that these action steps that I'm going to take during the day are going to line up with what's going to bring me what I want in my life. So hopefully that makes sense, because I don't want to get so bogged down to putting out fires once life starts coming really fast and I've got, my kids coming at me and they want something, and then I got to do this, and all of a sudden I'm out the door and it's like boom, 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 and now you're just going. And I feel like the days that I don't do this setting intentions, meditation, I don't get right first, it's basically like going out into the ocean and you're just bobbing along. You're just like floating there. You're like a ship with no captain. You don't have a map. You're just floating. You're going wherever life takes you. And to really dominate and win at life, you have to take more control and command of that ship and guide it where you want it to go. So I've wrote it a lot lately on the Facebook. If you guys follow me on the Facebook, just about the intentionality of your time and maximizing your time and using that time as such a precious resource. So by setting these intentions and this focus, this is what allows us to make sure that we're doing things every day in our daily life and our habits that are going to give us the life that we want. So hopefully that makes sense. That's kind of the long and the short of it. Getting clear in the morning, maximum or minimum amount of time for the point is 20 minutes. And this is, again, 6 out of 7 days. Okay? So hopefully that gives you a little bit of something to work on. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments right now. If you want to talk about other stuff, I'm going to kind of flip the script. I'll wait a second just to see if anybody has any questions about prayer, meditation, mindfulness, setting intentions, anything like that. Again, I'm not going into super great detail on how to, do goal setting and setting intentions and stuff like that. I'm just more talking about the act of clearing the space to do that. So if you've been on any of our past lectures, where we talked about mindset stuff, that, in order to kind of create the life you want, you got to be brutally honest with where you're at first. You have to clearly define where you want to go. You have to be clear on what you want in your life. And then once you've kind of built those two, here's where I'm at, here's where I want to go, and then you've got that gap, then we can start to backwards plan and piece together these daily habits and making sure that the things I do consistently are actually going to give me what I want in life. And that's why if you've been seeing anything I post, I kind of rag on like Peloton and different stuff like that. Some of our clients doing like 75 hard or just going to run in a marathon. There's a lot of things you could randomly do that might be fun and might be cool, but just like making sure that those are actually going to bring you what you want. And I think it's a trigger for me because I've done it so long. Like with CrossFit, there's a lot of different ways you can take it. Right now I'm going for more of like a strength and a size version of CrossFit, which if I'm doing a ton of cardiovascular, long, grindy workouts, it's not going to get me those goals. So I'm kind of doing the fitness stuff a little bit lower volume than I would normally do and more volume on the lifting side. And, in the past, I've just, done random workouts and gotten kind of more random results. So that's something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, is just figuring out what you really want and moving towards it. Okay, switching gears a little bit. One thing I did want to talk about was the points. I've had a couple people just maybe a little frustrated, maybe just asking or talking about getting the 6 out of 7 and that being hard, and then just being like, fuck it. I've already missed 2 days. I'm not going to get the point for the week. I don't need to do it. We wrestled with how to point these up, especially with this food one, and being specific on your macros and realizing that that's going to be challenging for people as you're learning how to do it. I just wanted to encourage you guys and kind of offer up a little bit of possible advice or maybe a system as you continue to do this. Number one, this shouldn't be 7 out of 7 from week 1. This is a very challenging practice. If learning how to count and manipulate the food that you eat so that you have the ideal body composition, if that was something simple, do you think we would have so many fat people in the United States? And I'm not trying to be derogatory or rude, but do you think we would have so many people with such poor health? People know what's healthy and what's not, but the execution and the action of taking to do this day in and day out is extremely difficult. So I want to give you guys props. You're already like 1%ers for attempting to take this on. And I want you to think of this more as a journey as you're going towards 100%. I want you to keep track of your days. Build yourself a little spreadsheet, write it in your notebook, just make a checklist in your phone. If the first week you've only hit your macros spot on 0 out of 7 days, but you were really, really close to all 7. Do you get the point this week? No, unfortunately you don't. But next week, Maybe you do it again, and now you get it spot on, like 1 to 2 days where you nailed it down to 20 calories and within 5 grams of protein. Boom. And the other days you were really close. Do you get the point? No, but you're damn close. The third week, maybe you do it for 6 out of the 7 days. Boom, you get the point. The next week, 7 out of 7 days. The next week, 7 out of 7 days. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, I want you to give yourself a little bit of a progression and a little bit of time and grace as you can build up towards hitting your numbers. Guys, once you master this skill, you literally have the ability to gain weight, lose weight, maintain weight at your disposal. Like, do you know how huge this is? You're able to know intuitively how much to eat. You know that if you don't want to do this for a little bit and kind of slack off, you know that you have the ability to dial it in and get right back to where you want to be. So if we kind of think about this in phases and waves, like, you know, first quarter, second quarter, you know, right now I'm learning it. It's the first quarter. Man, in the second quarter, I'm going to freaking nail this shit like 7 out of 7 days, because that's going to lead into summer, and I'm going to be shredded into summer. And then as that summer winds down and I get into the fall, that third quarter, I'm going to back it off a little bit. And now maybe I'm not being 7 out of 7 days. Maybe I'm 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 7, because I've mastered it and I know I can do it effortlessly. But now I'm adding in some foods that I like. And then in that fourth quarter, winter next year, let's just say, dude, screw it. I'm going to go to the opposite. Instead of cutting, I'm bulking. And now you've totally flipped it on its head. And you have sort of a template and a plan to follow as you go through. And you're not just doing the same thing over and over again. You can learn and grow and just have that control. It's just so powerful. So that's what I really want. And again, just to reassure you, like, when I talk to my coach, John, he's like, people that have zero macro counting experience, you're looking at like 4 to 6 weeks before you get this dialed in. If you are someone that's done macro stacks, you've done this before, you know, we're talking 2 to 3 weeks. You know what carbs, protein, fat are. You're kind of close. You've done it, but you've never done it like to this degree. We're talking about championship behavior, guys. We're talking about being a 1% of the 1%. It's a new standard. So I wanted to encourage you to just keep on and don't get discouraged. And that's with all of these habits. Okay. So talked about food, talked about habit stacking, talked about the meditation, the prayer. That's all I got. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? I feel like I'm rambling on here. Rambling, man. Let me see if anybody got any wins they want to share. Is there any victories for the week? Any victories? Are you guys enjoying this so far? Any questions? Any questions about any of the points? You got till 7 to submit. It is. What's up, Sandy? What's up, Tracy? What's up, Joe? What's up, Jimmy? Andy, my team mom. She's on it. What's up, Sharisha? Hopefully you guys are crushing life. I've had some awesome, I'll call Susan out. I've seen her body scan, awesome results. Muscle continue to go up. Body fat percentage down, weight's down. Andy's, I know, killing it. Jim McKinley. Sandy, stretching on your off days. I've incorporated like one recovery workout. Saturdays, I love going in with the guys and just knowing that I've already done my 4 strength days. And then I just kind of, I don't want to say I half-ass it, but for me, it's more of a pump day, recovery day. I do the work, but I don't take that intensity to 10. I'm not trying to do the heaviest weight they're doing. I'm doing me, and it feels really good. On my Wednesday, when I don't lift, I'll either do the CrossFit workout of the day if I feel good, or I will do my chiropractor, and I stand on this vibration plate. I do the body thing he does, and then I get adjusted, and that gives me my recovery point. I've been really intentional about going 3 days to him, and that's been really helpful. I think between going to Peter and having Tim now start adjusting me, I've been going to Dr. Tim Erickson. He's awesome. Um, so I've been really big on getting the sleep too. Me and Jen have kind of tweaked our nighttime routine, not necessarily because of this challenge, but just kind of the way um, things have gone with the kids. And it's been, something she was kind of afraid to do is like we kind of tweaked our tucking them in and letting them stay up a little bit after us. Man, we're old. Kids are staying up later than us. But that's helped us to start that wind down routine. I have not missed on my food. I've been spot on. This is the most I've weighed consistently. Even before when I was training to go on vacation, was eating an excessive amount. It was really hard and painful. This has been it's been automatic. It's been, I felt really, really good. No injuries. Body feels really strong. So uh, let's see, Jimmy. Good, trying to make this sustainable beyond the challenge. That's a good point. I talked to Susan as well about that. She's like, man, the protein's really high. I'm using these shakes and I'm getting my number, and body comp's going down. I don't know how I feel about doing the shakes. She's doing like a shake and a bar and different stuff. So when I talked about kind of my incrementally improving these habits, maybe it takes that much artificial food to get there now, but I don't want you to think that that's wrong. I want you to think about, okay, if I were to maybe change one of the bar to something of real food, how could I do that? Or um, what can I add to this second shake that's real food that will make it be more like food and not just it's food plus supplement instead of just straight supplement. So if I'm doing like a plain protein shake and then I do a protein bar and then I do another protein shake and then I eat one meal, it feels like all I'm doing is eating supplements. But if I have my morning, it's got green powder, it's got coconut milk, it's got real eggs in it, and then I put the protein powder in there to get my 50 grams of protein. It's like half and half. I've got coconut milk, I've got egg white, I've got a bunch of vitamins and minerals, and then I put my scoop of protein. I'm counting that as like half and half. That's my breakfast. I eat that usually with some kind of oatmeal or fruit. So now it's like really it's a full meal. I'm just supplementing to get to my number. My other post workout is always going to be just supplements. I mean, if you're going to train hard, supplementing for that hard training, I think I used to have a problem with it, right? Because I'm like, if I gotta take a supplement to do it, then I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. So I'm just not gonna do it. I want to be all natural. And it's like, I'm probably not gonna lift this heavy and this hard my whole life. But if I am going to, this is gonna be what's gonna help me recover the best. This is how I'm gonna do it. So now I'm having a protein shake. I have my simple sugars and carbohydrates right afterwards. Right now I'm doing like an applesauce, a fruit snack, and I put some dextrose in my shake. It helps me get a lot of carbs in when my body needs it most. Could I eat cuties, a banana, and all that stuff? Probably, but for me, I'm good with that. And then the one in the evening, I'm just doing a scoops of collagen powder with eggs and coconut oil and Kerrygold butter. That's all. Again, the collagen powder is different than the morning protein. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with getting all these things in throughout my day. So I've got the number. I'm hitting 200 every single day, and I love it. And it's taking me some supplementation to get there, and I'm not going to change it. So that's just my opinion on that. If you guys have any questions, drop them in there about that. I like my routine. I don't have to think about it. It's beautiful. Trish, you can do the body scan. It's been 2 weeks. I would do it. If you didn't do it this weekend, I would do it Monday morning. Just make sure you guys are doing it in the same state. Do it before you work out, um, and do it early in the day if possible. That's when you're your lightest if you're on a fat loss thing. What's up, Big John? Does anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns, victories? Throw me some stats, Jimmy. Jimmy Mack. I know you've been kind of killing it. You said you've been within like 3% every day of your total calories and your protein. So like, have you seen some changes as far as body comp? Or is your total weight down? Is your body fat percentage down? Trisha just asked if she can hop back on the InBody. You guys all can. It's the second week. I like to wait 2 weeks because that first week it's a little bit soon to see actual fat loss, and you might get a false positive, and then go to the second week, and then don't see progress, and it starts fucking with people's heads. So I just like to wait 2 weeks. This is the 2 week mark. Get in there sometime this week. You should see changes, and then based upon those, we'll have feedback that I can give you, and we can do this type of format. I'll give you feedback, and we can adjust course, right? If your weight's down, your muscles down, your fat's down, and you're just famished, then we know we need to start the reverse diet process and bump those calories. If your weight's maintaining or has gone up, but you feel great and you're getting strong as hell in the gym, and then you do the scan and you've got more muscle, then we're really, really close. We probably just need to trim the calories down a little bit because you're probably overdoing your calories slightly for your workload. So that's an easy adjustment. When we start to get the data, it's really easy for me to tell you what to do. And it's usually just a small tweak and things go, the right direction. And this is the one thing when we started doing those 6 week challenges, that's been over 3 years ago. We've just got really, really good at this because there's only really three things that can happen. So I used to joke around. I call myself Sherlock Holmes. I will figure out what's going on based upon your numbers and, talking to me, and figure out what you can tweak. And usually with one tiny little adjustment, boom, we start to go the right way. And if it's not that, then the next week we'll do a different adjustment. But I like to do one adjustment at a time, because if you think about like a science experiment for my teachers in the room, if you got multiple variables and you're changing multiple variables at a time, you're not going to know what works. So we want to keep everything as consistent as possible. We change one variable, we test, we test, we test, we get the result, we see what happened. Okay, then we get that feedback, and it's like, all right, well, that worked or that didn't work. Okay, let's change a different variable. Keep those other ones constant. So it is very scientific. That's why I like it. What's up, Big Chris? 4 pounds down is good, Jim. If you're hitting those protein numbers and you're down 4 pounds, your muscle should be maintained or up, and that should be, that's perfect. There should not be dramatic weight loss, guys. We're looking for a couple pounds, because when we do this right and we're dialed in on our metrics, you should be losing fat and not muscle. If you start to do dramatic weight loss, fat will come off, water will come off, muscle will come off. It's just, this is the best way, in my opinion, to do it. So you guys are getting the crash course. That's about all I got for you. I don't see any other questions. Hopefully, I answered everything. Drop a line in there if you got anything else before we bounce off. Cool. All right, I'm going to go watch some football. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you.